Hey guys, welcome back. We were just here just a little bit ago with Rain Johnson, and that was a great time talking with him and Joe and getting to hear things that he's got going on. I'm really excited about our next guest, Corey Lane. I've been trying to get this interview with Corey for several months as well. So let me bring him on. I don't want to lose you because I've been trying to get you here for a while.
Yeah,
Hi, Corey. How are you?
good. I'm good.
I mean, between your schedule, my schedule, life in general, I think it's just been we keep missing each other, or there's just always something that's gone on. But I'm glad you're here now.
Well, I'm glad.
Um, yeah. So we reconnected through TikTok.
Yeah,
Originally it was Instagram, and I fell in love with your voice then, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is the real deal. And look, there's a lot of musicians out there, and there's a lot of people that do try to cover like Tennessee Whiskey or Fire Away.
yeah.
Not everybody can pull that off. You can.
Well,
But and then the whole TikTok thing, it kind of blew up over this whole quarantine and
yeah,
pandemic, and I think it opened it up to so many more people like us over 30s, over 40s
yeah,
people, um, to kind of take over and get rid of some of the teenagers and
yeah.
be able to find the good stuff. So what's it been like for you with TikTok? And because you have 20,000 followers right now, which I mean, that number on Facebook would be mind blowing.
Yeah.
It is on TikTok as well. But talk about how this thing took off for you.
Well, I decided one day to make it, and I started doing a couple of videos. I didn't have many views, at
Right.
first, whatever. And I covered a song. I don't remember what song it was, and I ended up getting like 30,000 views on the one song. And I was like, wow, something might happen with this. And in 2 months, I think it was, I went from having, um, I ended up getting 1,000 followers. I had a lot of people pushing me on there, but in 2 months, I went from 1,000 to about 15,000, and then it's just climbed ever since. I'm at
Yeah.
20 right now, and it's helped me out a lot. It has. I released a song called Cold December, and people started duetting that, and so I started gaining a following through that. But I wrote a song with a guy named Steve Freeman. He's actually my producer, and it's called "Stay with Me." And I started doing it on my lives and everything, and people were like coming in. I mean, and it was the most requested song I had, so I decided to cut it, and it's just been going up ever since.
Well, and I mean the song, the new single "Stay with Me" it's an amazing single. It's emotional, and and then we were talking beforehand that the 15-second clip that TikTok has up is not enough.
No.
Actually, Officer Scales is in here as well. So Josh, this is another one that probably would love to do stuff with you all. But and thank you so much, Josh, for being in here today. It's been great seeing you, and stay safe. Have a great day, but stay safe. I assume I assume everybody knows Scales and Udi on
I know.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just assume everybody knows them because they're
Yeah.
cops of TikTok that are famous TikTok cops.
Yeah.
But this single, you have to hear the whole thing too. It is a wonderful, wonderful song. Before I want you to play it for us, but before you do, you're people need to go and check out the TikTok, the Instagram, your Facebook page and YouTube, and all that's at Corey Lane. And Corey's with an E. Lane is Lyne. So see, yeah. Yeah, oh my gosh. Music. So Corey Lane Music. Check out all of those pages. But on TikTok, you do a lot of covers, and that's not a bad thing because there's something for everybody on there.
Right.
I told you I was just as you came on, I was listening to your cover of "Love Somebody" by the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Which, look, that's a big artist to undertake, is the Bee Gees with your voice, because you don't necessarily have that one. You can't be your own 3-part harmony.
Right.
And then you have to follow Keith Urban doing that on that Bee Gees tribute show. But you did that song so much justice. But let me talk about a couple other ones. "Help Me Make It Through the Night," Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
"Billie Jean," Michael Jackson. "Wild Horses," Rolling Stone. "Fire Away," Chris Stapleton. And I love this one, "I Was There," by Tim Menzies. And
Yeah.
Actually,
my stepmom and Tim wrote that song.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Okay, because Jeff Carson was on a couple months back, and which I'm so happy Jeff Carson is back doing music again. And in prep for that interview, I saw him cover that song on his YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'd never heard the song before. And things that were going on in my own personal life, I needed to hear that song at that moment. And then Jeff Carson and I talked about that. I continued to request it from him, and I'm calling him out here. I continue to request it from him because I think he does such a great job on it.
Yeah.
But it is Tim Menzies' version is on my playlist too. So I was so happy to see you do that. But now I'm glad we're talking about it, because I did not know that. That is some really cool factual information. I don't know why that song is not more popular than or out there more, because it's such a great song.
It will be. I can't really go into much detail, but
okay,
there's a country artist that's been around for years, and he's if he ever makes a new album, if he ever does, that'll be his single on the album, and he's already committed to it and everything like that. But I mean, I think I could probably say it. We'll just say he sings "Where Were You?" Wait, Chattahoochee. What is it?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps.
If he ever does another album, my dad actually they've asked me to cut it and everything, and it's so country that it's hard for me to do it. I'm real country, but I don't know. I love the song. I think it's a phenomenal song.
It is, and it is a moving. There's something about that song. I asked Jeff to cut it. I'm like, please cut that song. Yeah. But I'm okay with him if he can only still do covers of it. I'm okay with that. But that would be amazing if you put that voice with that song. Yeah, that would be amazing. So yeah, we'll have to stay updated on that to see how that goes. So let's talk about Cold December. So what was when you decided, okay, I'm going to put this out there? How was that for you, and what was the feedback you were getting on that single?
I got a lot of good feedback on it. The way we released it, we didn't release it right. We're going to re-release it in December of this year. We released it in December of last year. It was released on Opry Radio and stuff like that, but we didn't market it right or anything. So we're going to try and do it again this year. I think it's a good song. I think it's a song that relates to most married people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even talking about a literal cold December. It's a metaphorical.
Right.
So yeah, I actually wrote it with my ex-wife, and we were going through a cold December, and then it got ice cold. So.
Okay, but how cool is that to be able to do? Were you all exes at the time that you wrote it?
No.
Oh, okay.
We were on the verge. I had writer's block for like 6 months, and I was sitting down in the living room, and she said, "Well, I'm just going to go to bed." I said, "Whatever." That type of thing.
Right.
And about 30 minutes later, I heard her say, she screamed, "I've got it, I've got it." And so she ran in the living room and she said, "It's a cold December and writing's hard to do because my mind's distracted by the thought of leaving you." And I looked at her and I said, "You're thinking of leaving me?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, well, let's write a song." And we ended up writing that. We were actually talking to each other, and I mean, we knew it was over. We knew it was done.
Right.
But I guess in the place of pain is where you get your best work. So I'm glad we were able to get that out, and everything.
Well, it had to be. I mean, usually it seems songwriters think or say it is a form of therapy, so it had to be in some ways part of a healing process with the two of you to be able to write this song together and knowing what you're writing it about and how true it is for you all, and then being able to move on from there. But always having that reminder of you were able to do some healing through that. Speaking of healing, I do want to talk about, you posted August, this past August was 2 years. So August of 3 years. Okay. Oh yeah, we're in 2020. Oh my gosh. So in 2016, 17. Oh my gosh, I can't even add. I don't get paid to add. You went through a really bad accident and kind of reached a rock bottom. Can you talk to us about that for a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I was a drug addict. I was addicted to prescription medication. I was taking about 30 Xanaxes a day.
Wow.
I was a walking zombie. And I actually had decided to go fishing one morning, Saturday morning. And I left. And when I woke up, I took about 12 Xanaxes. Wake up and take pills and stuff like that. And usually I would snort a line of cocaine to come up off of it, but I didn't. And but I went fishing. I left to go to the dealer's house. And as I was driving down the road, I was going probably 65 miles an hour. There was a highway in front of me. I think it was all God. I know it was all God. But there was a highway right in front of me. And I blacked out at the wheel because I was so high. And when I came to, I was going off the road and I was heading towards the highway where there was busy traffic. And I ended up trying to turn back onto the road and my truck would not turn. So going about 65, 70 miles an hour, I hit a fire hydrant. And when you hit a fire hydrant, they don't go anywhere.
Right.
It went right through my truck. I went through the windshield. I had a 100 and something pound pressure washer in the back that went and just grazed my face, and went through the windshield with me. But when it happened, I knew I was going to die. That's in my mind. I was like, this is it. I'm about to die. And this man pulled up. I never saw his face. Not the first time. I tried to look at his face, but all I saw was just a bright light. And he took water and he started pouring it over my face. And I was cut from here down. I had shattered my eye sockets, broke my nose, my collarbone, ripped part of my toe off, and which I don't know how that happened. But I was blessed to be alive at that moment. But he came up to the truck and I rolled out. And he took this water and he took his bare hands and he was putting the water on my face and he was wiping my wounds, cleaning the blood from me. And he looked at me and he said, "Is there anything else I can do? Or is there anything I can do for you, son?" And I just said no while I was trying to still look at his face and I couldn't see him. And he got in his truck and he just left. There was nothing else. So I ended up going to rehab 3 days after that. And I stayed in rehab. I went to rehab for a year. I went to one facility for 6 months and then another facility for 6 months. And when I left, nobody wanted me to come home. Nobody wanted me to be at their house. My wife at the time did not want me back. And I sat outside a gas station in Pigeon Forge when it was freezing cold, for 2 days. I'd never been homeless like that in my life. And I sat outside that gas station and I just said, God, I give up. And I just started crying. It was midday, busy in Pigeon Forge, and I'm sitting up against this gas station, my head down, I'm crying. And this old man pulls up and he leans out the window, looks at me, and he smiles and he said, "Is there anything I can do for you, son?" And I knew his voice right then. And right as soon as he asked me that, I just lost it. And I got in the car with him, and he asked me where I needed to go, and I said I just need to get to a bus station to try and get somewhere where somebody that I know is. So I got in the car with him, and we started heading to Knoxville, the bus station. This man started telling me how much he loved me and everything, and how he'd always loved me. And I was like, "Man, you need to let me out. Just go ahead and pull over."
Yeah.
It freaked me out. He never asked me my name, but he called me by my name. He talked to me the whole way and just told me things about myself that I didn't know. And I said, "Well, what do you do? Who are you?" And he said, "I guess you could say I'm a doctor of people." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I knew it dawned on me who it was. And
Right.
because I recognized his voice. And so I got to the bus station and he made a phone call and said, "I'm sending Corey home." And they said that they felt compelled to say yes. Okay. And he bought me food. I hadn't eaten 2 days. He bought me food. He put me on a bus and he told me to call his phone when I got home. And I got home the next day. I called his phone and a woman answered the phone and said, "There's nobody here by that name. I don't know who that is." And I just knew I had an encounter with God that day. And I really believe with all my heart that that was just God saying, "I don't care how far you went, um, or I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to find a way to show you I love you and bring you back to me." And I got home, and it's crazy. So when I was on drugs, I was a bad father. I was a bad person. I didn't care about my kids. All I
Right.
cared about was getting high. That's it.
Right.
And people don't understand when you deal with a drug addict, it's not about anybody else but them. It's where they
Right.
can get the next high and everything. So I got home, and 2 days later, I ended up going to jail for child support after being in rehab for a year. I got to jail. I'm crying, man. Like not in front of the guys or anything, but I got in my cell and I was laying down on a concrete floor, and I remember I said, "God, this is it. I'm done. I don't want anything to do with anything that you have for me anymore." And I felt like God told me to open the Bible. There was a Bible in the jail cell. And I opened the Bible and I turned it to Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a sorrowful prophet in the Bible. And I turned it to Jeremiah, and this one scripture came out to me, and it just blew my mind. It said, Jeremiah was asking God, "Why is my pain unending?" Which what I was asking God. It said, "Why is my pain unending and my wounds not curable?" I don't remember what that part was, but then it said, "Why are you just like a brook, a never-ending brook?" So he was asking God, "Why you? Why are you doing this to me?" And God responded to him and said, "If you'll just return to me, I'll make you my mouthpiece." And in that moment, I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm supposed to be your mouthpiece here in jail." So that night, I got all the guys together. There was 22 people in the pod, and I started doing a Bible study every single night. And out of the 22 people that were in our pod, 20 gave their heart to God. And we had the most peaceful pod that was in the jail. But there was a reason why I went. I don't ever want to go back, but there was a reason why I went. And I actually told the guys, um, I said I wanted to have faith, and just because I sing Christian or country music doesn't mean I'm not a Christian.
Right.
And you hear that a lot in the South, but it's not the way it is. And so I looked at those guys with faith. I mean, I was like, "This is it. I'm going to show them how real God is, or I'm going to let God prove to them how real He is." I was supposed to be in jail for 6 months. And I told them I'll be out in 2 months on June the 17th. And they were all like, no, whatever. June the 17th rolled around and there was a call over the intercom. Lane, roll your stuff up. And every one of those guys in there were blown away. And hopefully I made an impact on somebody's life. And hopefully this accident, I've been able to help more people get into rehabs now. And, you know, I've had a lot of friends die since the accident who left rehab and said it wasn't for them. But I've also helped a lot of people. And I think that me going through what I went through was just what was supposed to happen. And God's using that for him. And when I go and play at shows and stuff, I talk about it and I tell people about my story. And because I'm going to use that wherever I go, it doesn't matter what the crowd is or anything like that. But I've been clean now for 3.5 years.
Congratulations. I mean, that's it's easy to say, wow, that big time span. But I do know from experiences in my life with people that it's 1 day, 1 second, 1 hour, at a time, until all that time builds up. And it's never a road that you can go down again. It's never a one-time thing again. It will always lead you back. But I do also believe that God knows. I mean, it says in the Bible, he knows what's going to happen. He knows the plans he has for us. And it's that part of getting us to, I want to know. I want to know what's going to happen. It's that waiting and having to be patient and be still that I want it right now. So I think, but yeah, I agree with you. I think that his plan was much, much bigger for you. And I thank you for talking so openly and honestly about it, because there's an ugly side to it that turns into something very beautiful, not just for you, but for every single person that hears your story.
Yeah.
And I hope that, I don't know if Officer Scales is still on here or not. I will email him later, but they do a podcast and they try to help as many people as they can with whatever they're going through. So me personally think you'd be a great guest on their podcast, but I hope that if anybody out there hears this or has either right now or later as it goes on through the day, and it'll be up on YouTube and Facebook forever, but that they'll reach out to either you. They can email us. I don't care. We'll get you in touch with whoever you need to. But if everybody can understand that if you're struggling like that, you're not alone.
Right.
You're not alone. And somebody will listen. And if not, then Corey or I will make sure we listen and get you to somebody else that will listen.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's nothing. Look, that I used to be so ashamed of that kind of stuff. And I just had to come to the point in my life where I say, okay, people are going to think what they're going to think, and they're going to say what they're going to say. But most of the time, the people that are going to say the negative things are the people that are struggling the same. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be drugs. It can be anything else.
Right.
But you say what you want to say about me. I know who I am.
Right.
And I know who I'm going to be. And, I know that God takes broken things and makes them beautiful. And
amen.
It gives us beauty for ashes. So
absolutely. And look, if nothing else, you are living proof of that in one, your music, the way that you deliver these songs. And I cannot wait to see what happens next with your career, because you have a sensational voice. But not only that, you have a voice that reaches people. I was just talking at the interview before this that what makes a great song is, yes, the great writing, but also the way that it's delivered vocally. And you can have the best song in the world, but if an artist can't bring that to us vocally, then we'll never hear it. So
I try not to do any song that I don't feel.
Yeah. Well, and what a great philosophy.
Yeah. I mean, if you've gone through it, usually songs that I want to do are songs that I've lived. When I've got my list right here of the stuff I'm actually doing tonight, and Help Me Make It Through the Night. I feel that song.
Yeah.
I've got a song called Stay or Go. I feel that song. I mean, like, there's the one that I just cut, Stay With Me. Man, that's an important song to me. I mean, even though it's a love song, it's a love song for somebody, you know what I mean? And,
Right.
And it means a lot to me. And when I wrote it, I had somebody in mind, and I'm madly, deeply, it's just
Right.
if I don't feel it, I'm not singing it. That's just not
Right.
you know.
Well, and to bring this up, like one song you haven't mentioned, that's not released yet, but Ronnie Dunn put out a challenge yesterday that LWR Records is looking to sign a couple of artists.
Yeah.
And you were one that submitted, and I think we went back and tagged you in it too, like re-tagged it to Ronnie Dunn. But the original you did was Let's Take Tonight, which I was thinking, oh my gosh, there's only a little bit of it. Oh, so Steve Freeman wrote Stay With Me, correct? With you?
Yes, me and Steve did.
Okay, so nobody but Corey could have brought the magic to the song. That's why I knew we had to cut it and had to be a vehicle for you. So, yep. Thank you, Steve, for saying that, because I'm glad as a writer you recognize too how great. It's not just that Corey singing a song you helped write, but Corey singing a great song and doing it very well.
Well, hey, he produced it though. And produced the heck out of it. When we wrote it together, but he produced the heck of that song. And if you guys don't listen to his podcast, I'm just gonna throw it out there. You got to listen to his podcast. He tells the truth.
Yeah, tell us where can tell us about.
It's the Steve Freeman podcast. It's on Apple. It's on iTunes.
Okay.
I think it's on Spotify, Amazon. It's everywhere. And
okay.
He tells the truth. He tells it like it is. I was listening to one the other day, and he was talking about how the artists, when they get up to thank everybody, nobody ever thanks the writer or the producer. You know what I mean? And I try to give him the most shout outs that I can, because he brought the song to life. I mean, he really did. I sent him what I had written of the song, and he was like, bro, it's a great song. Let me throw something on there. And he did. And it's, in my eyes, in my opinion, it's a hit song. And then when he produced it, I mean, I got in the car. I remember he sent it to me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, tell me what you think. Honestly, a few weeks ago, I was just ready to give up because, COVID screwed everything up.
Yeah.
Being a musician and a singer, our mental capacity isn't that great. We're tormented. So
right. Very tortured souls.
Oh yeah. And he sent it to me, and I got in the car, and I just bawled because it was beautiful. I mean, what he did to it, I've never heard anything. He's a great producer. He's probably the best producer I've ever heard.
Well, there you go, Steve. We will make sure. I'll put a link up to the podcast too, so that if somebody doesn't want to take the time to go find it, I'll find it. I'll put the link up to make sure you all can check it out. And I definitely will be checking it out too. So I tell you what, we've talked so much about this song. I'm going to give you the screen and let you play Stay With Me for us, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
All right.
My heart's on fire. Tell me everything's all right. There's so many things I want to tell you, but the words won't come out right. Don't go, stay with me tonight. That look in your eyes drives me wild. Girl, you got me addicted to your smile. And there's so many things I want to know, like how you look in the morning light. Don't go, stay with me tonight. Let's let tomorrow stay a million miles away. Let's hold on to tonight. Baby, say you'll stay. Oh, there's so many things I wanna tell you, but the words won't come out right. Don't go, don't go, stay with me tonight. Don't go, stay with me tonight.
Okay, I had to, I mean, I'm really doing my best to keep my, because it is such a great, great song.
Yeah, I love
it. It
My
is.
voice is a little bound up today, but it's okay.
That's all right. That's all right. You know what? It still gets the message across exactly the way it should. So, what a great, great song. And Corey, I'm so glad we finally got to do this. Guys, if you all don't follow him on TikTok or TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, please do so. Spotify, and I know it's tough for everybody right now, financially, and worrying about what's going to happen. If you can't afford to buy the single right now, it's okay. Go to Spotify, any streaming service, and stream it. The artists still get something from that, so it helps them out, and it doesn't take $1 out of your pocket. It's $1 well spent, though. Just saying. You just heard that one. Imagine the full produced version of it.
Great.
It is amazing. I just noticed I was going to send Steve a message while you were doing that. We're already friends, so I'll get on there and make sure I find that that podcast and get that posted. But follow Corey. It's Corey Lane Music on TikTok, and on TikTok you're going to see a ton of covers, which is, and some originals. But the covers, you're going to be blown away. I would love for people to do some reaction to your covers.
Yeah.
Or
I get a lot of messages, and they say I would do a duet or this, but I feel like I can't because I don't think I'm that great.
Because you're so damn good, right?
That's what they say. Now I don't feel like that. I'm not conceited or anything like that.
No, you don't have to.
I'll tell you this. Steve messaged me not too long ago, and I hope this is okay to say if you're still watching, Steve. But so I covered a song by the Diamond Rio called "You're Gone," and he messaged me and said, "Let's cut it." I don't know if you've heard that song or not by Diamond Rio or not, but
yeah,
that's the thing. That and "Let's Take Tonight" are the two songs that I'm, besides this one, that I'm most excited about it if I could cover or cut them, because
right.
"Stay With Me," I've gotten such a big reaction out of that. The one that I did on Ronnie Dunn's thing. That right there, it's such a not stay with me. Let's take tonight.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a divorce song. I mean, you're looking at your significant other. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. You're looking at them and you're saying, let's just take tonight and be real with each other, because we've tried and it has not helped at all.
But see, and what a great lesson for couples in general. Like, divorces do not have to be terrible, like nasty, and they don't have to be that way. I wish that mine wasn't great. So
yeah. I wasn't that great either.
but what I think we are starting to get a little bit more people that are going, and whether it's conscious uncoupling, it's divorce, and you're having to end that part. So if people can do that in an amicable way, especially when there's children involved, I think that one, it reduces your court fees.
Yeah.
If you can work together. So this is an advertisement for let's take tonight. Like, it'll reduce your court fees. Attorneys are going to hate me for saying that.
I mean, you just sometimes though. I told you I don't say anything I don't feel.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to take a little bit of time and talk about it. And just say, we've got to be real with each other. We've got to be real with each other. Is this going to work or not? And if it's not, then we both need to just walk away from it. And when I did that song, basically that's what I was saying. Let's take tonight and be real with ourselves, because we've tried and tried. That didn't help. It was real once, but that shot hell.
Right. So I mean, people don't get married because they hate somebody at the beginning. Something happens, and or a lot of things happen, whatever the case may be. But yes, what a great way to for you all to have been able to have that conversation and in the song. Okay, no. Yes, you did. In your mind, you did.
In my mind, I had it.
I can't change your actual real life story for the song background, Corey. Now you ruined it. Just kidding.
But in my mind, I was thinking that. Yeah, absolutely.
But what a great video it'll make.
Yeah, I actually, I couldn't come up with a second verse to it. My stepmom, who co-wrote.
I need to talk to your stepmom. Like, you and your stepmom need to come on.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal writer, and but the one she wrote, the "I Was There" with Tim Menzies, not "I Was There." Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
But I said, "Hey, you just sit down and help me finish this song," and she was like, "Yeah, sure." So I started singing it, and she put that second verse in there, and the second verse is really good. It's beautiful, and it's real, and it's raw. And that's what I try to be, is real and raw. So,
but I think that's country music. It's real.
Country music is missing.
Yes, it is. It is. Now look, I have 100% honesty here and transparency. I know there's a whole lot of the bro country that people hate.
Yeah.
I'm not a hater of Florida Georgia Line, just as like a whole Florida Georgia Line, because I think, in my personal opinion, and y'all don't send me hate on this because everybody's entitled to their opinion. Look, I think that through the progression of their albums, you can see a lot of growth. Some of the songs that they've written for other people to do are very country, but I think everybody has, but yes, traditional country music, and getting back to what classic traditional country music is, and why I think they have the best fans in the world, is fans can see through a country artist bigger than anything. If you are not living or feeling what it is you're singing about, they will write you off and you're done. But I don't, in your case, I think, one, you can hear it in your voice, Corey. I don't care if you're singing. I don't care if you're singing Rolling Stones or Billie Jean. It doesn't matter. You make it your own. Okay. But I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that God was there that day, and that He continues to be here for you. Um, I'm blessed to be able to sit here and talk with you. You've said a lot of things I think I needed to hear in some of the situations in my own life. So I enjoy watching you on TikTok and sharing your stuff, and I hope everybody goes and checks you out, follows you. You can buy merch. There's links on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So a website will be coming soon, and there all of that stuff. So I think you're just at the very beginning stages of some big major breakthrough. My opinion, again, as humble as that is, but I adore you. You have a fan for life here. And you are always welcome to come back, you and Steve, you and your stepmom, you by yourself, whatever you want to do. We've got your back. We're here to support you too. And
Thank you.
so I appreciate it. You all make sure you go check him out. We finally got him here today for an interview. Partly, no, I guess partly it's like 80% my fault. I'm not going to not take responsibility for it. But now I've got your cell number programmed in my phone. So you may be like, I'm going to block that girl. Make sure you all go and Stay With Me and Cold December on everywhere you can buy digital music or stream it. Check out YouTube as well, Corey Lane Music. Corey, have a great rest of the day and great weekend.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye, guys. Hey, Corey, hang out for just a minute.
Okay.